On the slopes of Mount Vesuvius, overlooking the Bay of Naples, lies a city frozen in time. Pompeii, once alive with laughter, trade, and ambition, was silenced in a single day in 79 CE, when the volcano awoke. Pompeii was both a holiday town for Rome's wealthy and a centre of industry. The grapes for its famous wine grew from fertile volcanic soils, and its most prized export was garum, a fermented fish sauce. At its height, Pompeii was home to as many as 20,000 people. About a third were slaves. A mule cost 500 sesterces, a slave 3 times that. However, some slaves became trusted administrators for their masters and could eventually buy their freedom, and perhaps go on to be successful in their own right. Dozens of bakeries supplied bread to the population, but conditions were harsh. Slaves and criminals laboured in choking dust and sweltering heat, turning massive grindstones by hand. Pompeii was not perfect. With no sewage system, the streets overflowed with filth. Stepping stones were the only way to cross, without soaking your feet in waste. There were 45 public fountains. Public baths were popular, but the water was only changed at night, so the rich bathed in the morning. For entertainment, there were 2 theatres. Near the amphitheatre stood the gymnasium, open to everyone regardless of age, sex or class. Here people exercised, socialised and prepared for the games. It was a reminder that even in daily life the Romans valued strength, beauty and discipline. More than 800 shops, workshops and taverns lined the streets. The poor ate in the taverns where hot food was sold. The rich dined at home with piped water flowing into their luxurious villas. In addition to the daily grind of the poor and the luxurious leisure of the rich, daily life carried on with festivals, games, markets, and more than 100 holidays each year. Pompeii's Great Amphitheatre is the oldest surviving stone amphitheatre in the Roman world. Here, celebrity gladiators fought for glory and wild beasts clashed to entertain the crowds that roared them on, or even fought amongst themselves. Yet the people of Pompeii lived on the slopes of a volcano. To them, Vesuvius was simply part of the landscape. Although it is thought that the mountain had been quiet for nearly 300 years, earthquakes were a regular occurrence. These warning signs were ignored. Then in 79 CE more tremors shook the earth and wells dried up. Few paid attention. Then Vesuvius erupted, ash and rock rained down, roofs collapsed, people fled, some to the sea, others to cellars. Then came the pyroclastic surges, waves of fire and gas that raced down the mountain. Pompeii was buried alive, yet in destruction the volcano preserved. Beneath meters of ash, Pompeii became a time capsule. Loaves of bread still rest in ovens. Graffiti scrawled on walls still speaks of love, of politics, of daily life. The plaster cast of its people capture their final haunting moments. For centuries, Pompeii was forgotten. Rediscovered in 1748, it stunned the world. Here was an entire Roman city, preserved as if the people had just stepped outside. Pompeii reminds us of the fragility of life and the power of nature. Its people, merchants, slaves, lovers, children, were not so different from us. They lived, they worked, they dreamed, and they ignored the warnings, until the day the sky fell.